Welcome back, everyone, to another technical analysis. And today we are taking a look at LTC coin. Now, recently we had a nice breakout from the branch of EMAs and also a local resistance line, which formed pretty decent upward movement. So, if we zoom in, we can see three strong bullish candles. And right now we had a proper retest, actually multiple ones if we go to the smaller time frames, but basically the first one, the second one can be counted as these two, the third one, those three, and now we are still in the like retest area place. But what we see is that despite seeing struggle in this region, we still see that buyers are showing some sort of buying like volume and don't give so easily away this 200 100 EMA line and the neckline that recently got secured by the buyers. Now if we zoom out, we see that once we had this breakdown, proper retest, liquidity movement, which was of course logical since starting this area we had filled the fair value gap zone in this area, and now we had the retest of this. Not actually, this wasn't anymore the retest because this was retest. We just were testing this one, and we had a breakout. Now our game plan on the daily time frame is easy. We want to see the LTC coin to reach $130. And in order to see this kind of movement, first things first, we have to see or we have to hold this area here. So pretty strong line formed. I think Bollinger Bands is also in this region. Let me check. And I mean the Bollinger Bands, the daily version of it. So yeah, as you can see, we are in pretty tight gap with the Bollinger Bands, plus EMAs, plus a local resistance line. So what we are expecting on the smaller time frames is the breakout structure to form and the further movement to the upper zones. Now, the one thing that actually caught also attention or is still catching is this middle line of Bollinger Bands on the daily time frame, and I'm going to leave this line here. We'll put the thicker one here. Before we go to the smaller time frames as well, the fair value gap zone in the region of like 110, let's call it, to 118 is one of our like mid-term targets so far, while the major target still remains in between of 125 to 130 area. Now, going to the smaller time frame, first to the 4-hour time frame, and removing the Bollinger Bands as well for now, because this line marks the middle line of Bollinger Bands on the daily time frame. What we want to see is this area to be broken now. In order to see this, we have to see the proper mark structure, not mark structure, breakout structure in this region. And once we see the buyers to break this area, probably we'll retest this zone here, the middle line, correct. And once we see that buyers secure this area and this area as well, so this is the first stage, this is the second stage for our final confirmations, then this would be our entry for a potential long position. Now, for a long position, we wouldn't look even for any kind of like proper breakout then retest, because this would be the first sign for us. And as soon as we reach with buyers in this region, this would be already our like buying entry. Now we would put stop loss slightly below this area, and target would be, first target as we mentioned already, this 108-ish area. So let me go to the daily time frame, it will be easier to monitor it. So first target is going to be this area, and I'm going to line it up like that, even extend it a little bit, and let's put it to so we see the different colors. Now this would be the first target, this would be the second target, which is like 118 area, and this would be the final target for us, actually the middle zone of it, more of, because while we are certain that we will reach this area, we are not so certain that we would see this area. If we reach this area here, so 127-ish area, then it would be more of like a liquidity movement, maybe something like this, or like this kind of movement, and then a reversal, who knows. So in order to secure most of profits as much as we can, this would be your target area. And once again, these would be the target areas for us. So let's put it here. As always, 30% take profit here, 20% here, and close position in this area. So let's call it at 106-ish dollars. And as always, once we see the price to reach this area, so what we do, some people been asking, how do we take profits and what do we do in order to secure most of the profits that we can. We actually shared blog as well about this one, but quickly going to explain as well. So let's say this is our entry, and this is entry, this is first target, or let's call this, I don't know, let's put here one target, here the second one, and the third one over there. So once we reach the first target, what we do, we take 30% profits, we move the stop loss to entry. Now, once we reach this area, then the stop loss would be moved to the take profit one area, and here we would secure additional 20%. And once we reach this area, then trade is completely closed. So once again, we want to see a further movement or further dominance from the buyers in this region, and as soon as we see it, we are going to enter into long position with the risk and reward ratio being 1 to 4.5 basically. So pretty good trade that can be taken, and as of now, buyers still show pretty good dominance. So as of now, all we have to do is just wait for the proper confirmations. So for now, that's it for the LTC coin. As always, once again, thanks for watching this video and see you in the next one.